That's it.
this weekend.
Yeah.
You guys ready to start the meeting?
Yeah.
You said you wanted to go first?
Yeah, so last year we talked about, well, I think it was earlier this year, there are two segments of roads that the V-Trans has requested we either upgrade. We get to the point where they meet the standard for Class 3, which they currently are Class 3. Do you need a pen?
Is that, no, I got that. Is
That's
that your notebook or?
No, she just didn't leave it for me, so that's
Do you
right.
need this for your stuff?
I can take, no, I've got, I can take
Here,
notes
take
on
it, I'm
that.
good, I'm good.
Are you
Keep
sure?
this, yep, so you're organized.
Okay, so there's a segment of Menard Road and there's a segment of the Lapland Extension that when you discussed it last, you had discussed having the Lapland Extension go to be reclassified as a 4 and the Menard to be improved. And I just want to revisit that and make sure that you still agree with that. And then talk to you. There's a process you have to have the first thing on the process of reclassification is to have a site visit with a 30-day notice. So
The one on Lapland Extension goes up to that Harry Dewey's.
yeah,
And they turn the truck around.
if you want to see the map, you can look at this.
But they turn the truck around. To me, that one doesn't make sense to put into a Class 4 for that short distance. I asked Mo about it one day. Basically, a culvert or two and some gravel. But and he said when you're starting down there, you've got to, it's where they make the turnaround.
Right,
So
can you turn around, if you stop it earlier?
you'd stop, you don't quite stop soon enough. You know where that what's her face, Hawes had the house? I think it's somewhere beyond there a little bit where the barn was. It's not a very long distance. How much is it, Kathy?
The Lapland one?
Yeah, it's not a very long distance.
It's really short. I mean, we have a picture here too.
I always thought that was down the road all the way there.
See, I thought so also.
So it actually,
It
so
is
it's
a
this
Class
segment.
3, but we haven't maintained it good enough to
Right.
get them happy. So what it
Right,
is.
they kind of do a flyover on a regular basis to see the.
Flying too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really can't see throwing that one up. I mean, the guy's got, how many acres you got?
400 or 500 acres up here. Everything.
But it's a loop around. He's always getting logs and stuff off his property and stuff.
Sugaring on it now, so
Yeah.
probably not logging much here.
Right.
yeah,
Well,
it's just that loop really.
it's just that.
Just
and-
convenience, you gotta have a place
Well,
someplace.
you got a place turn around,
I
right?
was gonna say, if you're headed down the road already and you've got an established turnaround. and-
Yeah, change a culvert or two and add a few loads of gravel and keep it as is.
For the,
I mean, it can't take you that much to make a turnaround.
Right, you're gonna have to get an easement or whatever to make a turnaround.
I would say leave Lapland alone, extension alone, just because it's worked so well. I don't know why we go fooling. That's just my opinion. I mean,
What was the thought of changing it?
Yeah,
we have two options. One is either improve it or change it.
Okay.
And if we change it, then we have to go through the whole process.
who's it coming from?
V-Trans.
So V-Trans is just
Yeah.
doing an inventory saying these are
Exactly.
oddball pieces.
yeah,
Not up
Yeah.
to standard.
not up to there.
Planning, division.
So they got to elevate it some, I think, and change a few couple of culverts out. I think that's what Wayne Mo's suggested. And the other one is up past the old Menard farm.
Yeah.
And I thought we threw that up one time into a Class 4, but we didn't.
From there to down to the Berry Road.
Right.
That's
Well,
wild.
there's a section from where that old house is.
There's a section from the
And
driveway.
it goes up to where, I think, where that camp used to be, that Joe, Ledoux had.
It's
Yeah.
after the driveway.
I thought we had already thrown that up to a Class 4.
Yeah, it ought to be a Class 4, that road.
Yeah, I mean,
Up over
that's,
here,
well, you go up by, in St. Roch, go up to Menard Road to the end of
Right.
it. And there's that
I
farm.
rode my bike on that one time. It's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
You can
There's
go left.
there's a
down
farm
down
and
that
a
trail,
driveway
to
at
the
the
Berry
farm,
Road.
and then there's
And
a space
it's just
between
path
that, yeah,
goes
that
up to
was-
that old camp, yeah.
It's okay
I
up
would
to the
throw that
driveway.
one up, yeah.
I would throw that one up, wouldn't you?
Yep.
No use of, and all the rest of it's Class
I
4.
wouldn't wanna
Yeah.
maintain that one
No.
Okay.
I mean, that road is barely a bicycle trail right now.
You go through with 4-wheeler, basically, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So you think throwing up the Menard Road segment and then
for.
improving the
Turn that to
Lapland?
Class 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Class 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we do that, the process is that there needs to be a site visit and a public hearing. And then, I have to connect with the abutters to make, sort of like the way they do with the planning and zoning board. You have to contact the abutters and then you have to have a hearing and.
So Lapland, we're gonna ask Mo to fix.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, yeah, the loop, turn around here again.
And then Menard. Menard, there's no way that's been thrown out. I would respond, can we respond to
Well,
them and say,
the only reason that they calculate that segment in the amount that they give us every year for
right,
the class 3 money. I mean, they give us class 3 money, so they just don't wanna give us money for something that we're
right,
not.
but it's probably some
calculation.
college kids sitting at a computer going ding, ding, ding. I would tell them to please check records, we believe we threw this up.
It's actually the,
Quite a while ago.
policy planning mapping,
Excuse me.
director, and she followed up with us, and they've done a whole flyover, so they've already done a lot of work on just making sure that they're accurate. So it's just that one segment, and
Right, but
they're
that's what I'm
paying
saying,
us
it's
for it.
gonna cost us more time and headache to chase it down. There's no way that, I would say that's been thrown out, that's,
I was pretty sure it was thrown up, but I don't know how long ago we'd have to look it up for.
Let's say 10, 15 years ago at least. I mean, I think we threw it up when, I think Joe wanted to do some work to it when he was going up there. And we
right,
said,
so,
Another one was Roberts. He was going in the back and doing stuff, changing around. He said, even on a class 4, you gotta get permission to change stuff.
Okay. I'm worried that, so we can look back, and it has to have had a 30-day public notice in the hearing, so I'm sure it's documented somewhere. And if not, then.
But you're looking
back
back,
then you didn't need it, we just threw it
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just a
You're
little.
looking at
Tell me,
least,
which one are we
I
talking?
bet you're talking 20-something years ago.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the official V-Trans map. Is that, it says,
Yeah, she's already compared the two, I've looked at it with her, and we've made I can go back to her and
Okay.
just let her know that we think there's discrepancy and that they haven't been paying us this whole time for it to be a class 3.
We've been under the impression it's a class 4 for the last, I wonder if Amanda would
So
remember that.
they're measuring every inch of the ropes.
Right, that's what I mean, they're doing,
And they're doing
our
it,
GIS measurement of it.
and it's especially more complicated now because they have literally every single segment of road on the.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. is
The permit
Let's
is
go back to
carefully
simple here. If
looked
it's
at.
300 feet, they're gonna dock us for,
Mhm.
dock us 300 feet. It's,
They can't do that until
right, but that,
we've thrown it up.
that road
or
is
we have
thrown up.
document.
We wouldn't have kept it a class 3 road for 100 feet for no reason.
So I'll go back and just
when we're not doing any work.
tell her
Yeah,
that your
I'm
thoughts
just,
are that it's already been done.
yeah.
Boy, yeah, I'm just wondering if Amanda can remember we did that. Because that was, I seem to remember something when I first got on the board, and that was 20-something years ago.
That's what I said.
And that was like Joe with that camp, and we were like,
Well, I
let's
think that's what,
eliminate
I
this.
think he wanted to, have it upgraded a little bit.
Yeah.
He said, on your own, not.
You're right, we're not spending money just to somebody go to a camp. Yeah, well, I bet it's at least 2002 or 3 when that thing got,
Okay.
I would just respond, I mean, we're not the only one with a little tiny segment that
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. It's a,
I've had the conversation, I'll go back to the conversation and let them know what you
right,
said.
but yeah, it's not a conversation, it's
It's-
just, hey, this road's been thrown
Just
up.
skip it.
This is a class 4.
Yeah, I know, it's a segment, it's really not even a road, it's just a segment.
Right, but you see what I mean,
Oh, I
though,
hear you,
it's,
yep.
it's an oddball, nobody would have thrown it up 100 feet past this, it's,
yeah.
they're not,
Is it driveways off to Meadows?
yeah.
What are you showing there?
Shows that it's thrown up, but it doesn't, this
So
is
I'll
a
go back
state
and
AOT map.
say that this has been
It
discussed
says like,
in
that
years
segment is
past.
thrown up.
Yeah.
And,
The map she showed.
We've
we don't
operated
think
under
that
the
we-
assumption.
Driveways right
We
there.
We're just saying, we've operated under the
It's
assumption
thrown
that
up
it's
from
been
there
thrown
to
up
there.
right,
Yeah,
So
20,
I think that's
20 years
Not
ago.
thrown, not thrown up, but classified as
Reclassified to a class 4.
class 4.
De-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just think you could give in and out of text or something, just see if something takes you.
If she recalls
Rosemary
it.
Paulson.
Okay, so I'll let them know.
Yeah.
That would be nice, because then we wouldn't have to go through all of these steps.
Mhm.
Okay.
Who's Rosemary Paulson?
She's one of the aides at the library. Yeah, they have a couple of subs. The grants and aid grant is ready to be requisitioned. I just wanted to give you some numbers about that, and I can just copy and paste this for my thing for the minutes, Dave. So altogether, the project came to $55,000 for the total project, and almost 14,000 was personnel, 27,000 was equipment, and 4,000 was materials, and then 10,000 was the excavating contract. So that's the numbers related to that. For the grants and aid, it was the
Duffy Hill
Duffy
work,
Hill project.
where they changed those culverts all out,
Yep.
graded the edges.
The grant that we can requisition, we can get the full amount of, which is $31,000. But I think the project ended up costing more than was expected. And as we go forward, I have ARPA as a conversation point later in my conversation with you, the admin report section. But if we go forward, assuming that the grant is going to be reimbursing the general fund for the employees and equipment that was used, and there's also some other money that was going from the general fund toward equipment that is a match. There's $14,000 worth of materials and contracted services that could potentially be something that you want to talk about for ARPA, if that's still something that we are looking to figure out later in the meeting. Otherwise, the full amount will go toward, a portion of the amount will go toward those supplies and the equipment, and then a portion towards personnel. So that grant will only cover part of the expenses. And that's it, except for my report later, so unless you want me to keep going with my report now.
Might as
Well,
well.
nobody's here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I heard, did you hear the door open?
No.
Nope.
No? Okay.
We can-
So,
Where are we set with ARPA right now?
yeah, I'll get that to you.
We need to spend it.
Yes.
Yes, it needs to be spent by December, the end of
Project runs
December.
better.
We figured, some of that lights and some of them going up here, so.
I still have a call out to Energy Efficiency Vermont about the lights. There was the
They can go to Bellevue.
pressure washer from the last meeting.
Right.
I think that will
If we,
take whatever the grant, put the rest in the gravel fund.
so down at the bottom, if we spend $14,000 on the Duffy Field project, then we're down to about $15,000. And we will be hearing from the loss control consultant a little later, so we might have, he has a report and he's identified some things we might want to spend some money on.
These are recommendations, right?
Right. So do you want to go into executive session?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion, we enter executive session for a personnel matter.
I'll second.
We're out of executive. First executive session, select board's interviewing candidates for zoning administrator and evaluating the possibility of using Northwest Regional Planning instead of having an in-house zoning administrator. And the next executive session, we were in for an insurance discussion. We reviewed insurance safety audit and discussed having a VLCT passive insurance, do some training with the town road crew.
Yeah.
And you're gonna reach out to him for some
Yes,
dates
yeah.
and times, and we'll talk to the guys.
Right. And next steps also, I would select board like me to reach out to the other facilities leaders to tell them about the results of those sections, it seems like. Just
Sure, like library and,
library.
yeah,
Forward the
You
appropriate
have
pages.
firefighter.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Do their own hazards.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting, so we get this moving along.
second.
any here submissions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye. That's 15 October.
Okay, so, did you wanna do the,
What about the warrants?
Have you guys gone through them all?
I'm good.
So you guys make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the warrants.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
You got some more, Kathy?
just wanted to let you know that the animal control ordinance is posted. I did that research around health insurance that you can look at, and we can discuss at our next meeting. Let's see, the audit was received. So make sure you take this with you before you go. You each have a copy and then the letters. Big thing, you know, basically we're ending up with the same general accounting standards finding that we get every year, which is that we rely on the auditors to do our adjusting journal entries at the end of the year to help balance out the accounts through accounting practices if they see anything that needs to be adjusted. That's the one finding that we always have. It's also explained in the audit that it's unlikely to change because the expense that could be assumed on doing that differently.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, there was a difference between the surplus that we anticipated and the surplus that we actually have. It was off by about $8,000, and that was due to journal entries regarding accrued payroll from the beginning to the end of the year, the difference between what was accrued for last year and what was accrued for this year. There was just a change in that, so that's basically what, I mean, it's basically what they're talking about. There was a spending variance on roads that they noted that the select board may want to have conversations about during our 2026 budgeting. We underspent on roads, and they pulled that out as something to think about. We can talk more about that at our next meeting if you want. Let's see. So NRPC wants to come and do an update on the planning process in December, if that works for all of you. They are still planning and preparing in their planning meetings on the third Monday of the month. So there have not been decisions or any consensus made at this time, so they felt that they're a little behind on that process. There's been a lot of good discussion, and they'd like to see us in December.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, because based on the last meeting that I attended, they're nowhere near. I wonder if we might let them, I'm just talking out loud, I might let them percolate another month, you know, like do it in January, because I think we want to get.
They're preparing for public outreach to begin in January. So the timeline they had suggested, which actually pushes this the meeting was supposed to be now, but with the select board, but they're not there yet. So they believe that they'll be preparing for public outreach in December for January,
Who is
which
this?
would be good for the select board meeting they proposed for 12/10. That was their
Okay.
proposal.
Well, they'll have the month of November. You're saying 12/10? It'll be, to
They'll
meet with
have
the select
something.
board in December. You're saying the first meeting in December?
The first meeting in December for the select board.
Okay.
That gives them.
Yeah, it gives
But
a
I can
month.
suggest if they want to come later, that would be an option.
Yeah.
I'm in no big hurry to see this change. I'd rather have it figured it out before we start hearing about it.
Right, that's what I'm kind of, it was kind of like, I think we should react to what they're kind of, but based on the last meeting, they're still, I don't know, we'll stick with 12/10, but let's be open-minded and say, hey, if they're not really there yet,
Yeah,
we'll bump it.
we're willing to wait.
Sure.
I'm planning to go to the State and Local Government Municipal Day in Montpelier this Friday. It's their trainings and it's an affordable opportunity for us to learn, but us to
Good.
benefit. And I think that's it for me. I mean, ARPA, we do need to revisit. We talked briefly about it before. We need to,
Furnace.
furnace, yes, that's right.
We should ask Mo. Mo was gonna get a quote for furnace and for also the pressure washer.
Yep, the pressure washer, I remembered. I forgot about the furnace.
That's probably about it.
Yeah.
I mean, 14K between.
That furnace is gonna cost you.
Yeah.
Make a nice down payment on it, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I think the Duffy Hill part, that would just have to come out of the gravel budget.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist yet.
Well,
It probably isn't any, but.
I mean, we can use more of the money to, of the ARPA money to fund something other than that grant.
Well, I think you gotta
That
be using
project.
most of it in the furnace and pressure washer.
Yeah,
So
get it done.
it is possible to kind of wiggle those numbers around.
Those are all three things that gotta be done, so next meeting,
Yeah.
we'll have a quote from Mo and
Yeah.
we'll be done with it.
Okay.
It's time to be done.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Second it.